Hey everyone, thank you for joining when we go over Witches Exchange's official grimoire. I am producing it behind the scenes, but it is truly accredited to all of the members of Witches Exchange, as all of the information is going to come from y'all, and it really wouldn't be possible without you. Today's live is going to be pretty short and sweet because it's just going to be going over how Witches Exchange's grimoire is going to work. There is a guide on Facebook where all of the information will be found. Actually, I'm going to give everyone just a second and I will pull up the Facebook page as well, but I'm just going to slide everyone over here just so you don't see me type in my Facebook password, obviously, but I just realized it'd probably be good to pull up the Facebook as well. Hey Angel, thank you for joining. All right, here we go. Witches Exchange's Facebook. There we go. This will be helpful. So, right here in the guides, I'll zoom in just so that way everybody can see. In guides, you can go over here. It is guide number 2. Which is Exchange's official grimoire. So if we click on the guide, this is the first post, which is just introducing. Let's tap the screen. There we go. This is just introducing Witches Exchange's grimoire. So you can read through it and I'll explain it. So I'm not going to read through the entire thing, but I'll highlight on some important notes. This grimoire is going to be a ever-growing thing. It's going to continue to grow with more information as people submit information. There's going to be all types of things in the grimoire from all different types of practitioners throughout WoW. Anything can be accepted, from spells to rituals, just to random information. Hey Angie, hey Angel. If you don't know what a grimoire is, it is a book filled with magical information and any and all types of information. I'm not going to go too into detail on what a grimoire is, of course. Hey Crystal, thank you for joining. Something that should be really went over and noted, I will zoom in and then I will straighten out the phone so you can see again, don't worry, is that this grimoire exists for all members of Witches Exchange. Nothing in the grimoire is allowed to be distributed or sold, as all rights belong to Witches Exchange. Members found doing so will be removed, banned, and blacklisted. Furthermore, you will be placed on sites to show that you have a history of theft and plagiarism. We take that very seriously. We want to protect all of our members and the information that they share. So below that currently is the link for the official grimoire. I assume our live that we're doing right now will probably be in between the two. So this explains again really briefly what the book is, and it explains where you can find more information. So let's go into the actual grimoire itself. All right, here we go. Over here on the side, you can see tabs. So you can click on them and it will take you to whatever section you want to look at. For instance, if I want to go straight to table of contents, I can click it. It will bring me down to that, and so forth. This will always stay updated with all the information that's on the document, so that way you can really quickly get to it and you don't have to scroll through the entire document. But just to go over really quickly, we have our title page. This is just a little thank you to everybody in WoW and explaining what the grimoire is about. The table of contents will continue to be updated and will change as more information comes through, but it's just going to be in alphabetical order. The author and creators page will also continue to change in alphabetical order whenever new people submit information. Whenever you submit something and it's typed on the document, the name that you sign with it will be added to this page right here. And then here's just an example of what the pages will look like. We have the title Bones as our category. Here's a submission that we have. It's typed up. I'm not going to go through it. You can check it out. You can even submit pictures and I'll add in the pictures. and then it has sign below, right? We have all sorts of things. You can have anything that you want on it. Here is a curse that we have. And here's another way that you can do signatures, just so that way you know that there's not just one way to do a signature. Also, whatever signature font you put and however you do your signature, for instance, let's zoom in on this one. Here's my signature. However you do it, I will keep it like that on the creator and author page. Let's see. Here we go. I'll keep it typed just like that on the way, so that way, because it's kind of like your signature on it, because it's really y'all's grimoire. So I have it just like that. The only thing that I'm doing is I'm just organizing it for everyone, but it's y'all's. And so I would love it if you would check it out. I would love if you would submit things. So if you want to submit something to it, how can you do that? There will be a post added to the same guide that everything else is in, and it will have a link to this Google form. All right, let me go over the Google form. This is where things are going to be a little bit important. Yeah, on the Grimoire Angel, you can do your font and also any emojis or anything that you want to add, or if you just want to type cute stuff in. That is a great point. Thank you for bringing that up. So if you do different fonts, I'll keep your fonts for the most part. I'll do certain things to make it match, but if I see you're doing something be whimsical, I'll definitely keep it. You can put different little symbols and stuff. But formatting. If you make a document, like what Crystal did was she made a document and then just uploaded the document. If you do that instead of typing it in the chat box, then I can just keep your format. Like, let's go to Crystal's. Hers was formatted just like this. I kept the exact format that she put. If you type it in a text box like this one was done, I will just format it. And if I see that you typed a format to some extent, I'll keep the format exactly the same as what you did, and I'll just make it work for Google Docs. This was mine. Again, see formatting. If you don't want to do formatting, if formatting's not your thing, don't worry about it. I'll make sure it makes sense. But if you want to do it, you do it, and I will keep it the way that you do it. But back to the Google form. So again, you'll find the link in the guide, the Google form. This goes over just again that you are not allowed to basically steal information from the Grimoire. You'll have to fill out a bunch of things. Anything with this red little asterisk right here next to it means that you must submit it, just the date. This is explaining that you're only going to submit one thing at a time. You can submit as many things as you want, but only one thing at a time, so that way I can understand what goes together. Like if you want to submit multiple spells, put each spell on its own submission. Or if you want to put in information, like let's say you have information on bones and sirens and dragons. Separate this information up so that way it makes sense when I go to put it on the Grimoire. Because if I don't understand, I'll have to reach out to you to figure it out, and then that will just take a lot longer and be a lot more work. If you just explain everything on the document, I don't have to hunt you down. This is asking just if you agree that if you share information to the Grimoire, and then for whatever reason, you are no longer in woe, whether you leave of your own choice, whether you break rules and have to be removed from woe, unfortunately, if you submit something, it's going to stay on the Grimoire. So you're going to need to make sure that you're okay with that whenever you go to submit it. Of course, I hope everybody stays, but as of course we know with life, you just never know. So you just have to agree to that. You need to check your grammar and your spelling. I know I suck at spelling personally. Just use autocorrect. You're going to just need to make sure that whatever you type actually makes sense, because I don't want to have to try to like reword whatever it is that you're thinking if it doesn't make any sense, because I'm not going to. I'll just resend it back to you and be like, hey, this doesn't really make sense. But again, that would just make things take a lot more effort and work than it needs to. So just give it a double read over, give it a triple read over, make sure it makes sense. Okay. Right here is how you're going to sign it at the bottom. So what I was talking about on the Grimoire page. Let's go back to Crystal's because I really liked hers. This is how she signed hers. So obviously that doesn't say Crystal, right? But you can go and sign it with a pin name, or you can sign it with your actual name. And let me explain a little bit. So if the information is yours, like you just wrote up this spell, it's completely yours. Sign it with your name, your virtual name, your pen name, whatever you want to use. And you can pick a font or whatever. If you're typing on the Google form, I don't know if it will let you change font. If it won't let you change font, you'll have to upload it at the bottom, and I'll show you that at the bottom. I'll show you when we get there. But let's say the information came from a family member, a friend, or just some other person. You can put your name and then family, like my family, Sarah's grandmother, Sarah's friend, etc. You know what I mean? If it wasn't from you, you can give the credit to someone else, but still sign that it came from you so we know who and what gave us this information. And the information comes from a media source, then just type the source and then your name. Pinterest from Sarah, book title from Sarah. If you have no clue, you can just put Sarah, unknown source, or just put your name. I don't care. That is just going to come from Honor System. I have no way to check that. I'm not going to hunt you down. I'm not going to try to figure it out. Whatever you put for signing it, that's what it's going to be. If you don't, you have to fill out this blank, so you're going to have to put something. So whatever you put in this blank, that's what's going on the signature. What was this used for? This is just where you're going to explain why. Like, if it's a spell or a ritual, why would someone use it when you use it? If someone's reading this, like, what should you know? Let me give an example again, so that way you know what I'm talking about. For instance, for this curse, it gives you the reason. Used to permanently silence someone. So that way someone would know, hey, if they're just reading the grimoire, why would I use this? This is just information. So it says this is beginner information on the basics of clairsenses. It just gives a quick little, what is this about? Again, when to do this. For the awakening and honoring of remains within a magical practice. Oops, sorry, it's really blurry. There we go. You're just explaining really quickly, so that way someone can just quickly glance at this and be like, is this for me? Is this something I have any interest in? That's what this question is asking, and how it will look on the grimoire. This section is where you can add in the information that you're wanting to put on the grimoire. You can also add the information here via file, but I will explain. If you add the information via file, you'll just have to type I sent a file, or type something here, because you have to type something to submit. But bare minimum, you need to submit a title. What is this? Title examples, Rite of Bone Communion. Title example, Cut the Tongue Curse. See, that's what I mean. We need a title. And then we need to make sure the information is typed correctly. Spell and grammar correct it. Oh my gosh. Spell and grammar check it. Can we tell it's late when I'm doing the live? And then you'll need to sign and state the source if needed. Optional, make it cute, add emojis. And then you can do formatting to some extent in this. What do I mean? Like, you can type 1, 2, 3, you can put dashes. You can format it to some extent in this, but it will be more difficult to do formatting here. But if you do formatting here, I will keep it. You can upload a file. And I can't really demonstrate that very much for you, but if you make a Google Doc, you can download your Google Doc and then you can upload it as a file. I'm pretty sure you can do that with a Word, you could do that with a PDF. This is also where you can add photos. Earlier in the live, I showed a photo on the grimoire. You just do that by uploading it here. If for some reason you're trying to upload something and you can't upload it and you need to upload it, you can comment on this live, or you could just PM me and let me know, like, hey, I'm trying to upload something to the grimoire, it's not working, and I will work with you on that. But it should upload most things to it. But that goes over the form. It's in its entirety, and that goes over the grimoire. If anybody that's on has any questions, then I will gladly answer them, but if not, then I will end the live here. Angel says, now I have to think of my font. Yeah, I didn't even think about fonts, to be honest, with signing it until I saw Crystal's signature, and I was like, that is a fabulous idea. I'm going to be doing that. So I'll give it a couple minutes just to see what people in chat say. Angel says, no questions for me. It seems super easy to do. Awesome. That sounds like a stamp of approval from Crystal in the chat. Angie says that was very helpful. Thanks, Sarah. Okay, awesome, everybody. So if anybody, yes, Crystal, I was really glad too. That's why I wanted a few submissions before I did the live because I needed people to reference. And I thought it looks really good, and it inspired the signatures. That's for sure. And it really gave me a great idea about people submitting files too, because then they can really curate it to look exactly how they want it. Fabulous example. A plus gold star. But if anybody has any questions while they're watching on the replay, feel free to drop it in the comments of this live and I will answer any questions. Or you can put questions on any of the other posts. If your question is referencing a certain post, just go to the guide and drop your questions. I hope everybody enjoys the Grimoire. I hope that you submit things to the Grimoire if it interests you. And I hope that you can really learn something and take away things from the Grimoire because it will continue to grow. So if you check it out once, most likely by the time you check it off again, then something will be there. Oh, last message. If you submit something to the Grimoire, please have a little patience for when it goes to the Grimoire. I will most of the time be very quick with it, but life happens, so sometimes it might take a little longer. But if you submit something, it will go on the Grimoire. Just have a little grace with how long it takes to get on there. But thank you for watching this live. Blessed be. Have a great evening, everyone.